been preparing to be an influencer my entire life, long before such a job ever existed. But, funny enough, dressing as a confident, empowered professional woman and sharing these images with the world didn't heal my wounds or change how I felt about myself inside. And no number of likes or follows or shares made me feel any closer to the person I was pretending to be. In fact, living through such a public lens and putting so much focus on how I looked and what I wore took an enormous toll on my mental health. For years, I suffered from crippling self-doubt and depression as I lived my adult life as if I were still a traumatized kid trying to escape from home. I had everything I'd ever thought I wanted. Front row seats at Fashion Week shows, free stays in luxurious hotel suites around the globe, and a closet full of high-end labels. But none of it mattered. Until I looked at what was hiding underneath all those beautiful clothes and filtered pictures, I could never be truly happy. It took almost losing my marriage for me to wake up and start peeling back the layers to find out who I really was and what I really wanted. I did the work, the unglamorous daily slog of healing from my childhood. I set healthy boundaries between my life and my work to protect my mental health. And along the way, I slowly found my way back to that innocent love of fashion I'd had as a young girl, who saw the world with a sense of wonder and infinite possibility. Instead of hiding the truth of who I am or creating a false image, my clothes now show off the real me. No, I'm not perfect, but I'm done trying to be. Instead of finding my worth in labels and metrics, I've reclaimed what is authentic and meaningful, away from the glossy sheen of my online life. After years of self-doubt, self-criticism, and even at times self-hatred, I'm finally liking myself back. Chapter 1. Filtered. I switched my phone out of airplane mode just moments after we touched down at JFK and scanned the influx of texts, looking for a message from my husband, Grant. When I left that morning, we'd been arguing about him coming with me, or, more accurately, him not coming with me. We were 4 years into our marriage, and I'd mostly given up on asking him to join me when I'd travel for work, which was pretty much constantly. But this time, I really wanted him there, to be with me as a part of this world I'd created for myself. This trip would keep me away from our home in LA for a total of 12 days, including my time in New York for meetings and my final stop in Paris for Fashion Week. I was speaking on a shop-style panel in Paris and hoping for a last-minute invitation to my very first Dior show. But instead of feeling excited, I was just empty. For so long, Grant had been my life partner and my best friend, but now he was slowly slipping further and further away from me. "You'll be too busy to miss me," Grant had told me, and besides, no one needs Mr. Damsel hanging around. He was poking fun at the name of my blog, Damsel in Dior, the name he'd come up with 4 years before. I knew how much he hated it when people called him that, and I didn't blame him one bit, but it also didn't feel fair for him to respond by pulling away from me and the blog that had gone from a hobby to a job to basically taking over my entire life. Finally, I came to his text. "Hope you landed okay," it said, with a kiss emoji. "Landed safe," I replied with my own kiss, and then switched on the Let's Walk in New York playlist that I made specifically for my trips to the city. Sinnerman by Nina Simone blasted through my headphones as I craned my neck to look out the plane window and up at the sky. It was already nighttime in New York, and the sky was dark. No matter how many times I visited, I never got used to the fact that in the city there were never any stars. Where I grew up in South Texas, the sky was a glittering tapestry. At night, the farm was pitch dark, and the only lights we could see in the distance were from the nearest town about 7 miles away. My mom, dad, older brother, Justin, and I would lay on our backs on a big trampoline in the yard. As the surface beneath us rocked gently, my dad would point out the different stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Then he'd go on to tell us about the Northern Lights. It only happened during certain months of the year and in certain places, he told us, but it was a special magic show that danced across the sky.